Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about something that can completely change your life if you truly understand it. This is the difference between motivation and discipline. Many people think that motivation is the key to success. They wait to feel inspired, to feel ready, to feel that sudden burst of energy before they take action. But here is the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel strong, focused, and ready to conquer everything. Other days you feel tired, distracted, and you don't want to do anything at all. If your entire life depends on motivation, then your results will always be inconsistent. Now think about this. The people you admire, the ones who achieve great things, do not rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It means showing up on the days when you are tired. It means continuing when things are boring, slow, or difficult. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It simply asks, what needs to be done right now? Imagine two people. The first person waits for motivation. They start strong, full of excitement. But after a few days, that energy fades. They stop, they delay, they quit. The second person does not wait. They follow a routine. They take action every day, no matter how they feel. At first, it may look like the motivated person is ahead. But over time, the disciplined person wins every single time. Let's go deeper. Motivation is emotional. It is based on feelings, and feelings are temporary. Discipline, on the other hand, is a system. It is a decision you make again and again. When you build discipline, you remove the need to think too much. You create habits. You create structure. And this is where real progress happens. Think about going to the gym. On day one, motivation is high. You are excited. You imagine the results, but after a week, maybe you feel sore, tired, or busy. Motivation starts to disappear. This is where most people stop. But a disciplined person keeps going, not because they feel amazing, but because they have decided that this is who they are. They are someone who trains no matter what. Discipline is powerful because it works even when everything else fails. When you are stressed, when you are tired, when life gets difficult, motivation disappears first. Discipline stays. It carries you forward when nothing else can. And over time, something interesting happens. The small actions you repeat every day start to create big results. You don't notice it immediately, but weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. Suddenly, you are far ahead of where you started. So the real question is not how to become more motivated. The real question is how to become more disciplined. Because once you have discipline, you don't need motivation anymore. So how do you actually build discipline? The answer is simpler than most people think, but not easier. Discipline is built through small, consistent actions. It does not start with big, dramatic changes. It starts with simple decisions that you repeat every day. Wake up at the same time. Do the task you planned. Finish what you started. These small actions may seem unimportant, but they are the foundation of everything. One mistake many people make is trying to change everything at once. They set huge goals, create complex plans, and expect instant transformation. But when it becomes overwhelming, they quit. Discipline grows slowly. You start small and then you expand. You prove to yourself that you can trust your own actions. That is where real confidence comes from, not from motivation, but from evidence. Another important part of discipline is removing excuses. Your mind will always try to find an easier path. It will tell you that you can start tomorrow, that today is not the right time, that you need to feel ready first. But discipline means acting despite these thoughts. You don't argue with them. You don't wait for them to disappear. You move forward anyway. At the beginning, this feels uncomfortable. It feels unnatural, but over time, it becomes part of your identity. You are no longer someone who waits. You are someone who acts. There is also something important you need to understand. Discipline is not about being perfect. You will have bad days. You will miss tasks. You will fail sometimes. That is normal. The difference is what you do next. People who rely on motivation often quit after one mistake. They feel like they lost their progress. But disciplined people return immediately. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They simply continue. This is what creates long-term success. Not perfection, but consistency. If you stay consistent, even at a low level, you will outperform people who start strong and stop later. Success is not about intensity, it is about endurance. Another powerful idea is this. Make things easier for your disciplined self. Prepare your environment. Remove distractions. If you want to work, put your phone away. If you want to train, prepare your clothes before. Discipline is not only mental strength. It is also smart preparation. You design your life in a way that supports your actions. Over time, discipline gives you freedom. That may sound strange at first. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but it actually removes chaos. It creates structure. And with structure, you gain control over your time, your energy, and your results. Let's talk about identity. This is one of the most powerful parts of discipline. If you see discipline as something you have to force yourself to do, it will always feel hard. But if you start to see it as part of who you are, everything changes. Instead of saying, I have to do this, you begin to think, this is what I do. That shift is small, but it is extremely powerful. For example, a person who says, I am trying to work out, will often skip days. But a person who says, I am someone who trains every day, acts differently. Their actions match their identity. The same is true for studying, working, creating, or improving any skill. When discipline becomes part of your identity, you don't need to fight yourself as much. This is why repetition is so important. Every time you follow through on a task, you prove something to yourself. You build trust. You show that your words and your actions are aligned. And slowly your identity changes. You become someone who does what they say they will do. And once that happens, discipline becomes easier. Not because the tasks are easier, but because you are stronger. You don't depend on feelings anymore. You depend on who you have become. Now think about the long-term effect of discipline. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but they overestimate what they can do in 1 day. They want fast results, quick changes, and instant success. But real growth does not work like that. It is quiet, it is slow, and it is often invisible at the beginning. Imagine improving just 1% every day. That sounds small, almost meaningless. But over time, it creates a massive difference. Discipline is the tool that allows you to keep going long enough to see those results. Without it, most people stop before anything meaningful happens. There will be moments when you feel like nothing is working. You put in the effort, but you don't see progress. This is where many people give up. But what they don't realize is that progress is often happening beneath the surface. You are building skills, habits, and resilience. And one day it shows. Discipline is not exciting. It is not dramatic. It is not something that feels good every day, but it is reliable. And in the end, reliability beats intensity every single time. At this point, you understand the difference. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a choice. Motivation can start the journey, but it cannot finish it. Discipline is what carries you all the way to the end. So the next time you feel like waiting for the perfect moment, remember this. The perfect moment does not exist. There will always be a reason to delay, a reason to feel tired, a reason to do it later. But every time you act anyway, you get stronger. Every time you show up, you move forward. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel confident. You just need to start, and then continue, again and again. That is how real change happens. Not in one big step, but in many small ones. Think about your goals. Think about the person you want to become. Now ask yourself honestly, are you waiting for motivation or are you building discipline? Because one will keep you stuck and the other will set you free. So here is the final message. Stop chasing motivation. Stop waiting for the right feeling. Start building discipline today. Start small, stay consistent, and don't stop when it gets hard. That is the path that leads to real results. And if this message helped you, make sure to take action right now. Don't just watch and move on, apply it. And also, support the channel so more people can hear this message. Subscribe for more content like this. Leave a like if you found value in this video. And share it with someone who needs to hear this today.